Hi. We are back again. I'm Harry, and I'll be your narrator for today. We will show you some of the world's grossest, weirdest and bizarre food in the world. Let's start. Number 1. Casu marzu, maggot cheese, Italy. Literally translated as maggot cheese, casu marzu is the world's grossest cheese. The Sardinian specialty is made from pecorino cheese that intently becomes the natural breeding grounds for maggots. The top of the sheep cheese block is removed like a lid so that flies lay eggs inside. The larvae of cheese flies are burrowing around and digesting the fats. The process of fermentation is so advanced that it's close to decomposition and the cheese is developing a soft, liquid texture. Although this is a generations-old culinary delicacy with roots in familial history, it does not meet the modern norm of sanitation and declared illegal. Number 2. Balut, Philippines. Balut is a partially developed chicken, or, most commonly, duck embryo, boiled alive and eaten straight from the shell. This Philippines' most famous and iconic delicacy is prepared on special occasions and religious festivals, but can also be found at street vendors as it's a much-sought dish by tourists. To eat balut, you are supposed to tap a hole on the top, slurp the liquid interior with salt and vinegar, and then, if you can pass off the little duck face inside, you crunch down the bones, feathers and all that's left. This staple dish is a favorite among local beer drinkers and is also believed to have aphrodisiac powers. Number 3. Hackerel, decomposed shark carcass, Iceland. This is a decomposed shark carcass that tastes like strong cheese and smells like urine. It was invented by the Vikings in a time they had to conserve as much food as possible. They developed a preservation technique that is still used today. Greenland shark is very toxic to humans, so they have to bury it underneath the rocks and sand, which presses away the poisonous fluids, the uric acid and the trimethylamine oxide that is. The flesh is left to ferment from 6 to 12 weeks and then is dug up and hang to dry for several months. The first encounter with hackerel is a full-on assault to the nostrils from a putrid smell, so the bold tourists that dare to sample it are advised to hold their breath and try not to gag at the taste of one of the most rancid things on planet Earth. Number 4. Jibachi senbei, wasp rice snack, Japan. Fancy a snack? This new rice cracker is said to create a buzz on Japan's streets. A digger wasp lover group. Yes, there are such lover groups, brainstormed with a local biscuit maker and decided to spice things up and came up with the wasp rice snack. The finished cookie ought to have a mild sweet savory flavor, while the wasps themselves could be confused with burnt raisins, but with a bitter acidic note. And wings. And legs. Whenever in need of protein boost, this cracker has you covered because it contains 81% protein comparative to a 20% average steak containing. While heading to the gym, consider taking a bag of wasp cookies for energy. Number 5. Virgin boy eggs, China. Don't be alarmed, it's not literally cooked as the title implies. This highly anticipated Chinese spring delicacy, favored by locals, combines eggs with one key ingredient: boys' urine, preferably aged 10 or younger. Buckets of boys' urine are collected from primary school toilets in the area, and the whole process of cooking takes an entire day. First, raw eggs are soaked and boiled in the golden ingredient before the shells are cracked and left to shimmer for a few more hours. You can buy them from the street vendors, but locals make them at home too. According to tradition, this unusual method of cooking the eggs has some health benefits like promoting better blood circulation, preventing heat stroke and reinvigorating one's body. Number 6. Warthog anus, Namibia. This one got Anthony Bourdain to his limits, and he's known for eating about everything that he was dared to. He did ate it, there's no question about it, but gracefully declared it was the worst meaning of my life. Not that you're into the detailed recipe, but to cook the warthog anus you have to pull it with the last 1 foot intestine attached, squeeze the feces out, and then throw it in the open fire. Don't mind the ash and dirt. It's a part of the process. This is one food you would like to be well cooked, but actually it must be al dente and being served right away.
It's to what I can bear. Yes, even me. And I've reached my limit.
Okay.
I've gone way beyond it.
It's okay.
Sweet.
Number 7. Cobra heart, Vietnam. You have to be heartless to slightly open a struggling live snake and a brave heart to try this Vietnamese odd food. Okay, enough with the heart jokes, but why on the earth eating a beating cobra heart? It seems that man will do anything to acquire more virility. Being so popular in Vietnam, many restaurants have captive cobras for customers to choose from. If you make up your mind to embrace virility, go for the shorter and thicker one with a feisty attitude. The heart is cut off and dropped in a shot glass of rice wine and snake blood. Bottoms up, enjoy the drink and feel the beating heart getting down your throat. And this is far from being over. The well-intended Vietnamese are still offering shots of drinks. One is made from bile and rice wine and the other with venom alone. Number 8. Ptarmigan shit, Greenland. In Greenland, if you tell someone he's eating shit, he will not be offended and may ask you to join him for dinner. Ptarmigan is a beautiful white bridled game bird which predigested willow and birch plants that were a source of food in some parts of Greenland when resources were very limited. Now this is considered a delicacy. One ptarmigan defecates like 50 times in one sport, so they are easy to gather. Urumiat, the Inuit name for the bird's droppings, is collected in winter when it's dry, because in summer it's all gooey and unpleasant. After harvesting them, cooking follows in rancid seal oil and chunks of seal meat. In the old days, the woman of the household made a personal touch on this dish by masticating the meat and then spat back in the cooking pot. Sometimes it was mixed with ptarmigan meat or blood. We only found feedback regarding the smell, and it's compared with gorgonzola cheese. Number 9. Midama, tuna eyeballs, Japan. Don't be surprised when you take a look at the seafood department in a Japanese supermarket and some eyes stare back at you. That's because tuna eyeballs are a popular delicacy that can be prepared in various ways: fried, boiled, stewed or lightly steamed. Midama wasn't born in a time of poverty when everything became food, but in a more modern time like the early 90s, when Japan's media outspread the benefits of the da. In other words, omega-3, which tuna eyeballs seems to contain a high concentration, and made them a sought-after ingredient. Most widely it is boiled in water and seasoned to taste with soy sauce, sugar, sake, or mirin, rice vinegar. Under the rubbery shell there is a fatty soft substance whose taste reminds of squid or octopus with a flavor of a hard-boiled egg. Thankfully, we don't need to increase the daily use of this food in order to be more intelligent. We can find plenty of omega-3 in many other dishes, even flaxseed. Number 10. Worm pretzels, USA. You can't call yourself a New Yorker without trying this squiggly snack first. Wormzel is a new creation by Gene Rurka, an ecologically minded exotic food chef and former chairman of Explorers Club. He concocted the menu for the 100th anniversary Black Tie Gala, legendary for their unusual appetizers served every year. To make the special pretzel, he sizzles a dehydrated earthworm contorted in that particular shape and sells them in New Jersey. Number 11. Paidan, rotten eggs, China. More commonly known as century egg, black egg or millennial egg is a rotten egg that stinks like sulfur. They are covered in salt, clay and ashes and have 100 days to cook on their own. The yolk turns to dark green with a soft gooey center, and the egg white is a translucent gelatin resembling soy sauce. Sounds appealing? It is said that it tastes just like hard-boiled egg, only a dozen times greater as the flavor is supercharged. Century eggs have been around as far as the Ming Dynasty, but the story of how it was discovered is uncertain. Supposedly a man found some duck eggs submerged in slaked lime, and despite their appearance he did think it was a good idea to try one. Well, he did live to tell the story and Chinese people really love it. The eggs too. Number 12. Would you try a special snack if I tell you that it's packed with zinc, folic acid and protein? Fried tarantulas are supposed to be tasty and cheap and can be found on the food market in Cambodia, especially in Skuon. Although vicious and poisonous when alive, the edible spiders are a true delicacy rolled in sugar or garlic and then deep fried in oil. The popular attraction for tourists is a recent phenomenon and vendors are selling up to 100 a day. The spiders started to be eaten during the worst political reigns on record and saved Cambodians from starving. A cross between chicken and cod is said to be the taste of the crunchy tarantula. Number 13. Jellied moose nose, Canada. This Alaskan delicacy comes from determined wilderness wives of 1834 who made the most of it from whatever their husband brought back from the hunt. Nothing was thrown away, and so was the case of the moose's long, bulbous snout. Before cooking, the hair is removed and then boiled with onions and spices. Pieces of meat are let to chill in their own broth to a jellied delight and cut afterwards in thin slices. It looks as bad as it sounds, but the taste was described to be exploding with little flavors, and the texture varies from the chewiness of the nose cartilage to the tenderness of cheek meat. Number 14. Bat soup, Thailand. Usually we eat food that is good for our immune system, but this delicacy could challenge it because the main ingredient, the vampire bat or the fruit bat, carry many diseases with lethal potential. Piece of cake, right? Then cook it at low heat and season with herbs and spices. If it happens to emit an odor reminiscent of urine, garlic, onions, chili pepper or beer can be added to help reduce the smell. Bats fans can choose from a variety of listings: grilled, barbecued, deep-fried, stews and stir-fry. The taste of bat fruits is similar to that of chicken. Number 15. Shirako, Japan. We have saved the best nasty food for last. Before you rush on this mayonnaise-like white paste, you should know that it is in fact fish semen. Sperm sacs of male code to be more precise. Ignore the name and may discover that you might like the rich fishy taste. Translated to white children, this delicacy is served on the top of the rice, fried in tempura batter, grilled or on top of custard. But for a first-time eater, tempura batter is recommended, while a more experienced taster can go for raw shirako on top of sushi. The best season to find it, if you plan to visit Japan, is in winter from December through February.
Thank you for watching. This is the curious lazy Juan saying, if you're curious about something, Google it.